Hey guys, Kevin Day here. Today's quick tip is all about managing conflicts. I talk a lot about conflicts because it is a natural byproduct of relationship. And as a person who is always coaching and encouraging you to build healthy relationships with your students, your colleagues, your staff members, and the families that you support, it's only natural that you're going to have some conflicts come up from time to time. If you're having a lot of conflicts with your students, I will include a link above or below this video that talks about how to move your classroom from being a combat zone to one where you actually have more collaboration. But today I'm going to talk about what to do if you have conflicts with your colleagues, or maybe you're kind of getting in the middle of some conflicts between two or more people, and you're kind of being asked to be that neutral third party. So the important thing to remember is that most of the time, conflicts are not about kind of core value differences. They are really about miscommunications and misunderstandings. Don't assume that because there's a conflict, it's the end of the world, or it means that the relationship is faulty, or that this will be the end of the relationship altogether. Really do go into it with the understanding that it's probably a misunderstanding and there just needs to be some improved communication. So that's our first step, is you want to kind of get your bearings that this is not the end of the world. The next thing you want to do is try and be as neutral as you possibly can. Even if the conflict kind of personally affects you or personally frustrates you in some way, really do try and look at the problem as the problem, not the person as the problem. So if you're in the middle of two or more people, or if this is even a conflict that you're having with someone else, really look at the problem as what you're trying to solve or fix or address, or even attack if you need to look at it that way, and not the person. We always want to try and separate the person or the situation from, that the situation from the person, or the behavior from the person, so that we're not quite in such an emotional state, which usually escalates conflicts quite a bit. The next thing you want to do is listen, and listen as actively as you possibly can. But you're listening for not only what's being said, but what's being felt. When you're listening for what's being felt, you can try and respond to the emotion that you hear in an empathetic way, and that will usually de-escalate the conflict on the part of the other person. The other thing is, if you think about how the other person feels, that sometimes will help de-escalate you, because when we are usually escalated, it's because we feel like we need to protect ourselves, and that doesn't help us move forward. And then next thing you want to do is look for how you can express that you want to move forward in a positive way. If you are on the outside of the conflict and you're looking in, you want to make sure that you say, like, hey guys, I really want to stay neutral. You know, I love you both. I don't want to have a conflict with you guys, with either one of you. What can I do to help? Right? If this is a conflict between you and another person, you're going to say this something very similar, which is, hey, we've been working together all these years, or, we've had this friendship that I thought was really blooming. I want to move forward. What can I do to make this work? Right? So you just want to make sure that you establish that goal, that the intent is to move forward in a positive way. So those are just a couple of quick tips if you are in a conflict, or exposed to a conflict, or being asked to take sides in a conflict. You want to make sure that you do those things as much as possible. Now, if you are struggling with facilitating conflicts consistently, like maybe you are a school counselor or a school social worker, and so you're often being asked to navigate some conflicts, I have a PD for you that I would love for you to check out, called From Conflict to Collaboration. It's also really great if you are like an instructional coach or an administrator, and you're really in a position where it's your job to observe people and give them feedback and suggestions, and you find yourself having people who are kind of defensive to that. You want to be able to work with them and collaborate and move forward. This will also help you with that. So move from conflict to collaboration. It's not as hard as you think it would be, but hopefully those tips will help you make it a little bit easier.